What's up, everybody? Rob Racer97 here with a different kind of video today, giving you some first impressions on the Hong Kong Massacre. This is a game that I've been following for like 5 years now when its very first trailer came out, and it's changed quite a bit. They changed engines halfway through development. If you look at the first trailer and this one, it's entirely different. They went to I think this is it kind of feels like a Unity game, honestly, but I'm not entirely sure what engine they're using. Apparently there's like 5 chapters with 6 levels each in a boss fight. I got to this right here before I got stuck, and I figured, let's make a video about it. Let's talk about it a bit, because I've got some things to say about this game. Because immediately the obvious comparison is, oh, it's Hotline Miami. You know, you're top down, you're shooting dudes, and one bullet kills you. But honestly, honestly, it's more like Max Payne than Hotline Miami. You've got 4 guns, and that's it. And there's no sort of melee mechanic or anything. It's actually a lot more simpler than Hotline Miami in terms of mechanics. The only 2 things they add is you right-click, you can dive, which essentially just means that you're stuck going one direction for a few seconds and you're invincible. Why the fuck can't I hit this dude? And you're invincible. You just can't die. And then space is slow-mo, which makes dodging bullets a lot easier. And it's got an interesting gameplay loop. But if you can watch me try to get across this roof. This is as fast as you can walk at walking speed. And so that speed that Hotline Miami 2 and the first game had, is not here. And that really makes getting into the action frustrating. Especially the level I left off on. There's a good bit of room you have to walk through before you get to any of the gunshot bits. Also, you can't press R to restart. So, you have to kind of click. I've gotten used to, clicking that restart. But, I don't know. I don't feel like that was a mechanic that would have been too bad to rip off. Ruiner did it. That's another game I feel a lot in this, is Ruiner. And you could probably, if you played it, you could probably hear, I think it's a remix of one of the Ruiner songs. Is one of the 4 songs they have in this game. So it's not quite the blind rush of just shooting dudes the Hotline Miami is, at least not unless you get a lot better at it. Yeah, but the biggest problem I have is how slow you walk, how slow you round a corner, and my theory is that's so the AI doesn't lose you. And so it takes you a bit longer to finish the game. I haven't beaten it, of course, as I explained earlier, but what I'm hearing is it takes about 2 hours. It's depending on how good you are, you could beat it and get a refund, essentially, which is pretty insane. So what this game has is its style. It's really cool looking, and that's about it. Except for this, this really annoys me. The weird, slow, final kill cam that, it's blurry. And according to Steam forums, the devs might actually remove that. So that was just a conscious thought. And now I have more unlock tokens. That's interesting. Is it because I did a challenge? I wasn't paying attention. So there's, let's go to the level that I got stuck on. So there's 4 days earlier, 3 days earlier. I'm assuming it's going to count down to today. And I haven't gotten to the second boss fight, but from what I've heard, it is the same exact mechanics. Okay, so now we can do movement speed. And honestly, the pistol's one of the best, because with 20 shots, it's 20 potential dead people. Alright, so that's not that fast. I'd have to see a side-by-side comparison to even feel this. And I don't know if it's because I suck or like it does feel like a strange delay if you're like when you're trying to do a combination of like the slow-mo and the bullet time. Like sometimes I'm certain I've hit the button to do the dodge, but it just didn't. He didn't dodge, and I'm still just standing up like a retard about to take a couple bullets to my face. So yeah, this is about as like. I mean, I guess I shouldn't be surprised a game that focuses completely around slow-mo feels slow, but I feel like it should be fast when I'm not using the slow-mo. And I mean, I've never played a game where you walk so slow. I think Gears of War is faster. And the I like all the things that you can destroy. Nearly everything you can shoot explodes into a little bit of debris. Although, if you're not paying attention to it during the fight, like there's no scene like in Hotline Miami 1 where you like walk back through the level and you're like, damn, I made a fucking mess. Like you kill that last dude and it goes all blurry and it's over. On to the next one. Oh, I might have been out of ammo there. That's another thing. I don't think there's any feedback if you're out of ammo, and like you're out of ammo, you're fucked, which can really be a problem with boss fights. Which it involves like one dude who can tank a lot of shots, like trading shots with you back and forth through a hall, and then sometimes his goons will come after you. And it's a pretty cool setup. I like the idea, but if it really is just the same fight over and over again with harder, like an enemy that can tank more shots or something, that's a problem. And the other issue is, especially seeing as like everyone's comparing it to Hotline Miami, is there's only 4 songs and they're not that great. And this was published by the developers themselves, so I feel like that was like a money reason. They couldn't get a whole bunch of songs. Whereas like I imagine Devolver helped foot the bill a good bit for Hotline Miami to get all the music they wanted. But it's 4 songs with 35 levels, like you notice it, and one's from Ruiner, or at least a remix. You hear that noise. You know what I'm talking about if you've played Ruiner. Okay, see, I'm out of ammo. This like. I don't know why you couldn't add like a clicking noise. I'm not paying attention. I guess I gotta pay attention, but there's gotta be some sort of more feedback. And you just kind of do this. I don't know how. Like honestly, I'm not entirely sure if it really is a 2-hour game. It's just SR might just be ridiculously good at it, because he's the only one who's claimed it's under 2 hours, and he beat it in under 2 hours, you know. But I got to this point in about an hour and a half. Although a good chunk of that was me just staring at the dead screen, not hitting restart, because I was chatting on Discord. And then I just hit a wall with this part, because before this I was flying through it. I wasn't having any issues. And if you roll with the slow-mo, it's going to be a lot harder to move your cursor. And I imagine that's a balance thing, because rolling just means you're invincible. Diving, whatever you want to call it. You can't choose between rolling and diving. You are completely, like, they do the same thing. Either you're on your ass or you're in the air. Pick up your gun for the extra bullet. Narrative-wise, there's nothing, and it's just like hard-boiled cop gets his wife murdered by goons, so you do this. And I didn't notice it, but a lot of the Steam reviews are pointing out that the cutscenes actually have typos, because they're not spoken. It's just dialogue cutscenes, or written cutscenes, and that's pretty funny to me. I was thinking, like, you had 5 years and you couldn't come up with some sort of compelling story. Like, I get that it probably wasn't your main focus of the game, but my wife's dead. I feel like you could do something more than that when you have five years to stew on it. Oh, that's probably an unfair number, seeing as they changed engines, and like very little seems to be carried out. Because in the very first trailer, you could do like the Mark spread eagle, shoot two different directions thing, which I'm honestly not surprised they removed it. It's useless in Hotline Miami 2. But there's also like you could like explain where you killed a dude, and it looked like you had optional paths. That's not here. So right now it's $18. It's going to be $20 after the end of the week. I can't fully. I don't know. I can't like recommend it at that price, especially if you're short on cash. Like if you don't have a ton of spending money right now, this is not a game that you have to run out and grab immediately, which is unfortunate because I was really looking forward to this thing. I thought it had a lot of potential, and you know, it had a lot of the things that Hotline Miami touted, but you know, bigger, and with the 3D models, all the particles, all the things exploding, like it seemed like it was gonna be Hotline Miami with more like bells and whistles, and it just mechanically isn't there. Cause like, and then just like looking at the Steam trailers with how you're aiming. No, okay. Fuck. That's another problem with the particle effects. Is it's a bit hard to see if the bullets are gonna hit you or not. And in slow motion, you're not gonna start diving the minute that you hit the right mouse button. It takes a little bit longer. So like it just bothers me how slow I go through that hallway. Like I need to be ripping through here. I'm a man running with a gun. Like they move faster in Hard Boiled, you know. They're sprinting. Another thing I think would have done them well is some death animations, because right now almost all enemies do that goofy ragdoll where they sling their arms back and they land in like this jumping jack formation. And there's really no like variation to the deaths. It's just they got that bloody torso and that's it. And I get that like gore mechanics in a 3D game are a lot harder to do, but I think they were relying on the ragdolls for some variation, and it didn't work out. It looks a bit goofy. So if you had those like, fuck me, if you had those interruptible death animations instead of just all this the flying back with your arms spread eagle. Dave. Okay, yeah. See, I had to like double click it there before he actually started to roll. If I hadn't noticed that he wasn't diving immediately, I would have been hit by that bullet after he had already died. Fuck. And yeah, so this is basically the whole game. I do like that the enemies have different like designs based off of what gun they're using. I think that's pretty important. And like location-wise, like look at all the fancy light engine stuff. It's pretty neat. Although I think these are like slot machines. They don't explode into slots or into coins and stuff. Like most video games get crazy with the amount of coins that slot machines eject when you shoot them. And weirdly, this game which big focus is the particles. Don't do that. Also, you can just walk on furniture. Like, and just chill out on this couch. Which I think it's nice. You're not gonna get caught on shit. No, how's that ammo again? Because I wasted all in the starting room. But like, man, that time to action 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. 5, 6, and then now I'm like in the actual level. Okay. Honestly, I thought it was because I was playing this like after work around 1 a.m. and I was just too tired to finish this properly. But no, this level's kicking my ass still. There's no shift, there's no like zoom, or like look further. The way that they kind of avoid off screens is that little arrow, and I don't think the enemy is programmed to shoot you until they're on your screen. I could be wrong about that, but I don't feel like I've gotten off screen. What will usually happen, like the unfair death, is I don't realize like this is a window, and like they get you at some like crazy angle, as if they're like some sort of like they'll get you like through here, like through 2 doorways. Yeah. So yeah, if you want something short, you want something stylish, and don't care that it won't take you too long. There we go. This is the game for you. It's cool to shoot a dude with a shotgun, have him like splayed out on the poker table. But it's not going to dethrone Hotline Miami 2, and it's probably not worth the $20 right now. I'd wait for a $50 sale or something, 50% sale. Anyways, thanks for watching my little ramble video. I'm not going to flood you with reviews or anything. I'm still going to stick mostly to Hotline Miami, but checking out games that are really close and clearly inspired by it is something I'll probably do in the future. So I appreciate you guys watching, and you guys take care.